Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and in today's Insight Planner, Ashok Vyas, we are going to be discussing about some special concerns with many members of Hindu Indian American community are feeling, and what are those concerns and how they are being addressed. Different people are figuring out a way to make the larger community understand where Hindus come from and how misunderstanding may result into something which may lead to violence also. What are the challenges faced by Hindu American community these days? I have the pleasure of welcoming someone who thought about a potential way to address it through billboard campaign, and I have the pleasure of Satya Dosapati ji joining me from New Jersey. I have Dr. Suresh Khanna from Westchester, and Dr. Aruna Pal also joining us. So I welcome all of you together, and I'll begin with you, Satya ji. What prompted you to come up with the idea of billboard campaign? What is it?
So it was brought to my attention about a resolution passed by a TNIC Democratic Party committee, which has called pretty much in all Hindu American organizations in US as a terrorist on in American soil, and invoked anti-terrorism law that to be used to investigate Hindu Americans in the United States, and it called on all the lawmakers, several lawmakers, senators in New Jersey, even the Bergen County officials, lawmakers, and to investigate the actions of the Hindu American organization. It included many Hindu American foundations, Sheva International, HSS Hindu Swan Sevak, Infinity Foundation, many different organizations, and many more. They said are need to be investigated, and they are potential terrorists on American soil. That started me to looking into what is going on, what's happening here, and my investigation led into so many details, so much unearthing so many things that led finally to a billboard campaign as a way to express that there is a targeted attacks on the Hindu American and Hinduism, which can potentially cause immense harm to the community, just as such bigotry can causing to in the past to Jewish community as well as Sikh community. So we are a small minority community, and anytime there is a targeted bigotry, it is very easy to be targeted and cause immense harm. That is the reason why Billboard campaign is started. This campaign is calling attention. It is not per se, and some people say that we are attacking a democratic political party
Yes.
or we are
So,
making.
yes, Sajay, let me also seek Dr. Khanna's input on this, and I'll come back to you. Dr. Khanna, the way the words of billboard are, which says "Stop Bigotry Against Hindu Americans," stopdemocratsbigotry.com is the website promoted. Anyone would probably interpret it as something which is against Democrats, which, as Satyaji mentions, is not the case. How do you look at the potential message which it will convey to someone who is not a Hindu, but he could be a Democrat, or even if he is neither a Democrat nor a Hindu, but will he take the message that this is a campaign against Democrats? What would be your analysis, Dr. Khanna?
You know, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a little background. The reason these things started is that I'm involved personally with doing fundraising events, especially with Ekal Vidyalaya and also with the Param Shakti Peeth, which is Didima or Zamra Devi. And the incident started the day Didima was supposed to deliver a lecture in New Jersey, and the Indian American Council, through their democratic channels, because it's one of the largest mosques in Tenek, they pushed every politician, everybody to stop the lecture, which is basically nothing. it is a pravachan, what we call it, being done. And we based on that, then we all got together and Satyaji took a charge of starting with the billboard campaign. We supported, we are trying to bring this to the attention of the people, because what is going to happen, we're going to end up paying the price. If you look at the allegations made by Indian American Council that we are killing Muslims, we are killing minorities and all
You,
those things, people are going to
Muslim,
think that we are doing the same thing in this country, and we're going to see the repercussion on our children, because people ask who you are. I mean, say I'm a Hindu, there's a good possibility, and it has happened. We have seen in California, we have seen in Canada, the Hindus are being attacked. And as recently as a few days ago, the things happened for Diwali Day. So I think we want to stop such things against any religious group of people. We want to live in peace. We always lived in peace, and we want the same thing to continue. We are not against the Democrat. We are just trying to bring it to the attention of the community.
Arunaji, do you feel concerned about the kind of impressions which emerge from the resolution passed by Democrats in TENEC, and the way to address this billboard campaign? How effective do you expect the effective role that it is likely to play?
Yeah, so I'll just start that this Hindus so far has been very quiet, very peaceful community, and has been a contributing community. And in this country, in USA, this is our own country. We are the USA children. We are highest paying, tax paying community, and not only financially we contribute, we also contribute. Education point of view, cognitive point of view, intellectual point of view, and enriching the culture of this country. When I was born, I learned what is Hinduism. Whenever we are eating, we left all the time one little bit piece on the plate that maybe another person will eat that part. We all the time learned it, share and care and compassion. Yet, and not only that, every time my baba ji, dadi ji, nana, nani, mata, pitaji ke ghar mein, in house of their household, first roti or bread was given to Gaw Mata, or food was given to ants, little bugs. So not only we share with the human being, we also share this compassion with all living being. When we touch the plant at night, my mother used to say, "No, the plant is sleeping. Don't touch it." So all living being. So that is what Hinduism, full with compassion, caring. Yet, as our as Bhagavad Gita says or indicates that if attack comes on you, we must learn to self defend. And now, because we are being quiet, we are so, I mean, because of this political situation, now we are at this situation that even if we call Hindus, we call ourselves Hindus, we are communal. We call ourselves any holiday, Holi, Diwali, we are communal. We are following the different path of some kind of terrorist path or something, a different division, the all the strength which we
So
have,
yeah,
like one
let me
system.
interrupt you. Yeah, let me interrupt you, Arunaji. I think you have combined a lot of issues together, and these are the global Hindu concerns. I understand there are certain steps that you see are being taken, let's say by Delhi government year after year, that you don't use fire crackers on Deepavali, and people are upset that their traditional practices are obstructed, whereas other traditions are not asked to change their ways in similar situations. But coming back to America, Satyaji, you also heard about Rutgers University coming up with a study related to Hindu phobia. What is the main highlight from that report, which you felt that this was a well researched document with correct analysis that was addressing your concern also?
Yes. So the Rutgers report that came around May, I think, of this year, and one of the leading people who wrote is Mr. John Farmer, who is the past Attorney General of New Jersey, and also a member of 9/11 Commission, and many other very leading, respected people have contributed to this report. This report analyzed the bigotry against Hinduism and Hindus in the social media, and it shows the kind of campaign, bigoted campaign that is perpetrated is very similar to what Nazis did during the Jewish time in the middle of the last century. They have something called a Pajit. Hindus or Americans are conniving and scheming and cowards who grab the resources of the other parts, other communities, and enrich themselves in a very derogatory manner. In fact, the report says this amount of bigotry can result in a street violence, and it also talked about the Dot Busters campaign, which where in 1989 in Jersey City, a group of white young people started targeting Hindu Americans, where they used baseball bats, iron rods, and even shooting people on the street, throwing bricks on in the homes, very deadly bricks they were thrown on the brick just to get completely cleanse Hindu Americans from Jersey City. And the community and the lawmakers responded very well to it, and it never repeated itself in the New Jersey City. So this report is saying again we are seeing that kind of bigotry that that is being communicated in the social media, which is very powerful. It can spread any wrong news, as we have seen in London. The fake news star is used for to inspire some Muslims attack Hindu temples in the UK. So this kind of propaganda is very dangerous. And when you have a very small community, then you could be easily damaged immensely. So at the same time, just a few months after that, we see a TNA resolution with a Democratic Party committee that pretty much seems to be maybe inspiring such bigotry. But I want to say clearly that it's not the TNA resolution that resulted it. What happened in TNA is basically continuation of what Democratic Party establishment has been doing for last 15 years, starting from California textbook case, where only Hinduism is targeted as a very derogatory manner. Our Hindus children cannot feel proud of their religion. Then attacks on Hindu symbols in multiple states, or 3 or 4 states have passed laws attacking Hindu symbols. Then about a anti-CAA resolution. CAA resolution is nothing to do with the local government. 8 or 9 Democratic Party city governments have passed resolutions. I mean, what will it make you feel that as if in fact that a resolution is giving priority in citizenship for Hindus, Christians, Buddhists, and communities who are brutally targeted in Islamic nations, neighboring Islamic nation. We have seen in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. What is wrong with it, and what has that got to do with the local Democratic Party governments? Why are Democratic Party state legislatures passing resolution? I mean, hate categorizing 10,000-year-old Hindu symbols as a hate symbols. And what about the caste discrimination? What less than 1% of the Hindu Americans identify as Dalits. 40% of our children, according to one study, are marry outside their religion. So this is a very liberal society,
Yes.
And
Satyaji,
what has that got
yeah,
to do?
let
This
me
kind
come.
of
Let me come.
continuous propaganda is only adding fuel to some of the things that are going on social media,
Absolutely.
which
So let me
this
come
is
back to you.
targeting.
Dr. Khanna, while I thank Satyaji for sharing that valuable information, and many Hindus are not aware what is happening and how things are happening, which are down the line going to affect them, their family members, their children, the kind of perception which is a false perception, but it is going to act against. And as they say, if there is a lot of online hatred, it results into real world violence also. You mentioned earlier about Shakti Peet,
Param Shakti Peeth.
Param Shakti Peet and Didima Ritambaraji. And while she was visiting America, there were protests against her visit here, as well as there were violent protests in London, and that resulted into some acts against Hindu community members. Now that we have a new prime minister in Britain who comes with Hindu heritage, probably things would change partly. But in your understanding, especially talking about many Hindu leaders who are being targeted, and especially Sadhvi Didima Ritambaraji, what is it? Because she has been coming to America for many years, and
Many years, many
yeah, yeah.
years.
So, do you see something that might have triggered this time around, or there is a concerted efforts against maligning Hindus, though she's operating with a lot of compassion. So rather than appreciating her humanitarian humongous work, what is happening is a cause not just of a concern, but it is to be condemned by any well-meaning human being. What what is your understanding why it is happening, Daksha?
Okay, there are multiple reasons, and I'll go one at a time. First of all, let me go back. This is not the first time that the Indian American Muslim Council has done this against Ritamra Devi. It had happened around 15 years ago when the Mawa temple in New Jersey had opened up. They stopped her pravachan in that temple, so we had to do it outside. Besides that, if you look at it, most of us, when we came here, how much idea we had about our history? Extremely poor and one-sided. We all know the history has been written by the what they call it, the communist and the urban Naxal, and the history what we were taught was totally distorted. On the whole, throughout our life, we never called ourselves, I'm a Hindu or a Muslim, this thing. We grew up in the school, college, never talking about this thing until recently. When you say, as Sataji said, if you are a Hindu, oh my God, you are a discriminating person. You are against the other religion. I mean, what is wrong in saying I'm a Hindu or I'm a Muslim or I'm a Christian? Nothing wrong. It is a thing that I practice. And what has recently happened? Our voices were really not heard till 2014. Then the Modi ji came and they called him a so-called extremist. And we all know that he works for the country. He's not working for our community. All the work that he has been doing is for the whole community. And all these favorites work which is being done, the Muslims have been really, what do you call it, benefited. Look at Gujarat, where the riots happened in 2002. The most rich and well-placed Muslims are in Gujarat state. Now, since the arrival of BJP or this thing, then all the other organizations have started to see, oh my God, it is coming back again. Now, because the Hindus have started speaking, they are not fighting. They have started to address the issue that we are also a group of people who have faith in our own religion, who want to follow that and give the peace and the knowledge of, people call it Hinduism, I call it Sanatan Dharam knowledge to the whole world, which is, I feel, is one of the most scientific religion. Now,
Absolutely. So
if you
thank you.
really go back a few, I mean, just one line, and I think I recommend everybody reading one book. breaking of India by Rajiv Malhotra. That will give you the real insight of what has been conspiring for the last more than 200 years in this world.
Yes, so also admire his work, as well as he has come up with a new book that is also
Snakes in
pop-
India, that's right, in the Ganga.
right. So now, Aruna, you mentioned earlier about your upbringing and how compassion was an integral part of your daily practices. Um, Being sensitive to another human being comes natural. Uh, Talk to me about some specific Hindu practice which you yourself felt very strong about, and that you think you managed to convey to your kids also. As a Hindu, on day-to-day basis, what is it that helps you sustain that identity?
Yeah, so basically, just the basic practice, caring and sharing, as I said, when we are eating, family system, maintaining the biggest practice which I try to put in my whole family is the family system. Because once the family system is broken, then it is very easy to be exploited. And there are mafias everywhere. There are gun mafia, there are drug mafias, there are gang mafias. And it has happened everywhere, especially a minority group population in this country. And their family system is just broken for some reason. And now there is, I mean, those young children are engaged in these kind of crime, because there's nobody from the childhood, which we call sanskar, or the prevention, to stop that this is wrong, this is right. And then they get caught in the hand of the wrong mafias. So the same thing I try to put among our children, the whole family. The family system is very, very important. Take the strength of other person. Nobody is perfect, and let go the weaknesses. If somebody is an angry person, just see how you can handle the situation later on. Move away from that. Different ways I try to teach. And I think that is one of the biggest strength I saw in my families, in my family, as well as I try to input to
Yeah.
my
Thank you,
children.
Arunai. I think, yeah, that's a very, very important point. Family values and how we learn from each other, and we help one another. Those strong bonds definitely are big support. Satyaji, coming back to you with this billboard campaign, what else do you think is important for the community to collectively do in order to address the concern that is a genuine concern, which is highlighted by the resolution passed at TENEC? And I again share this stop bigotry against Hindu Americans. So, talk to me about how long this campaign will be and how many billboards you have. And you were also interviewed by several Indian television media as well as print media. What way were they looking at concerns of Hindu Indian Americans?
So we had run a 2 weeks campaign for last 2 weeks that ended last Tuesday for multiple places, about 10 locations. And now currently multiple locations have static billboards, and this will run until end of November, and then we may do more digital campaign. The idea is to bring awareness to the community, to make political parties, no matter who they are, if they are targeting you, you have to, or at least elements of them are targeting you, you have to make them accountable for their actions. That's what we are trying to do. So somebody said you are taking on a political party, or you are alienating the people. There are very good elements in Democratic Party too who are come forward and the support. But the this campaign is not about that. The campaign is is screaming for attention that there is a large number of elements within the Democratic Party establishment that is across not New Jersey, across different parts, multiple state and local governments, that is it is calling attention to it. If somebody is hurting you, you have to say, please stop hurting me. Don't we have a right to say that? That's what this campaign is about. And even if there are good elements, they are not able to stop this. So what else you have? What choice you have? You have to scream and say,
Yeah,
you got to stop.
Satyaji, I just want to add a complimentary question. Recently, the change of the reins of Twitter, do you see this is likely to bring a kind of fairness in terms of the way people can communicate on Twitter? Twitter becoming like a world platform of communication and many policies and political discussions happening here, and those important members of Twitter were fired by Elon Musk on the first day. They were seen more tilted towards the left side, and so talk to me about the potential outcome of this development.
Okay, my initial gut feeling is it is a good thing. Definitely a good thing. There is no doubt about Twitter has become taken over by woke elements in this, not the, and they're propagating the far left radical ideas, not just in United States, in India and many other nations. So it is a good thing that it is out of their hands. But now Elon Musk comes across as somebody who's genuinely concerned about the free speech. And let us wish him well. And I'm hoping it will not be one man censoring it. It should not be, but he has to have the large heart. If somebody is not following what he thinks is right, still be allowed. And he has a very strong team of people who are unbiased and who are to the center. We don't want far left, we don't want far right. We want to
Absolutely.
the
So,
center
yeah,
people.
sorry, sir. There's
And I
just
hope that he will do.
absolutely just 2 minutes to go. Dr. Khanna, do you see Hindus are cognizant of the potential impact with the political environment and the media building a narrative that results into anti-Hindu bias? Do you see many Hindus cognizant of it among people that you interact? Hindu Indian Americans, are they aware?
As a matter of fact, yes, I do. We were recently involved with Jennifer Rajkumar, who's a Democratic candidate, and she is the daughter of one of our colleagues, and as a doctor, and she's a Democrat, and we raised the issue of swastika. We took it to all the way to the state, and we collectively came, a good group of people who were not aware, they became aware of. Everybody came out with the issues that they were dealing with this swastika sign. So what I'm feeling is that the people are getting aware, and because of the digital media, things have been able to exchange quite rapidly. So I see we can address our issue with a respectable way, in a positive way, and get over with the so-called Hindu phobia or Hindu hatred, so that we don't run into some social negative
Absolutely.
situation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Khanna. Just 30 seconds. Dr. Aruna, how hopeful you are in moving towards the right direction with
Yeah,
this issue?
I'm very, very hopeful. And one example, what I can we can see in England,
So
Prime Minister
I'll
Rishi
leave it.
Sunak.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'm sorry. We'll have to leave it at that. We're just out of time. But indeed, there are rays of hope everywhere, and I applaud the proactive steps undertaken by Satyaji, Arunaji, and Dr. Suresh, and several others to address this concern, which is shared by all Hindu Indian Americans. So thanking them and thanking all of you with lots of good wishes. This is Ashok Vyas. Namaste.
Taman, namaskar.